Stalin's speech on the victory over fascist Germany. This speech was delivered on May 9th, 1945. Comrades, men and women, compatriots, the great day of victory over Germany has come. Fascist Germany, forced to her knees by the Red Army and the troops of our allies, has acknowledged herself defeated and declared unconditional surrender. On May 7th, the preliminary protocol on surrender was signed in the city of Reims. On May 8th, representatives of the German High Command, in the presence of representatives of the Supreme Command of the Allied troops and the Supreme Command of the Soviet troops, signed in Berlin the final act of surrender, the execution of which began at 2400 hours on May 8th. Being aware of the wolfish habits of the German ringleaders who regard treaties and agreements as empty scraps of paper, we have no reason to trust their words. However, this morning, in pursuance of the act of surrender, the German troops began to lay down their arms and surrender to our troops en masse. This is no longer an empty scrap of paper. This is actual surrender of Germany's armed forces. True, one group of German troops in the area of Czechoslovakia is still evading surrender, but I trust that the Red Army will be able to bring it to its senses. Now, we can state with full justification that the historic day of the final defeat of Germany, the day of the great victory of our people over German imperialism, has come. The great sacrifices we made in the name of the freedom and independence of our motherland, the incalculable privations and sufferings experienced by our people in the course of the war, the intense work in the rear and at the front, placed on the altar of the motherland, have not been in vain and have not been crowned by complete victory over the enemy. The age-long struggle of the Slav people and their existence and their independence is ended in victory over the German invaders and German tyranny. Henceforth, the great banner of the freedom of the peoples and peace among peoples will fly over Europe. 3 years ago, Hitler declared for all to hear that his aims included the dismemberment of the Soviet Union and the wresting from it of the Caucasus, the Ukraine, Belarusia, the Baltic lands, and other areas. He declared bluntly, "We will destroy Russia so that she will never be able to rise again." This was 3 years ago. However, Hitler's crazy ideas were not fated to come true. The progress of the war scattered them to the winds. In actual fact, the direct opposite of the Hitlerites' ravings has taken place. Germany is utterly defeated. The German troops are surrendering. The Soviet Union is celebrating victory, although it does not intend either to dismember or to destroy Germany. Comrades, the Great Patriotic War has ended in our complete victory. The period of war in Europe is over. The period of peaceful development has begun. I congratulate you upon victory, my dear men and women compatriots. Glory to our heroic Red Army, which upheld the independence of our motherland and won victory over the enemy. Glory to our great people, the people victorious. Eternal glory to the heroes who fell in the struggle against the enemy and gave their lives for the freedom and happiness of our people. Thank you so much to Fight Back News for putting this out there. If you'd like to find the article for yourself or give them a follow, you can find them on your favorite social media. I found them on Twitter at Fight Back News. News and views from the people's struggle. We welcome submissions, letters, and criticisms. Edited by freedomroad.org. Listen to our podcast at Fight Back Radio. Solidarity, comrades.